Because topics 2 and 3 are very closely related and they're both very, very short, I'm going to do one video for topics 2 and 3. Okay. So for topic 2, we're looking at writing a percent in decimal form. Because percents, decimals, and fractions all are a way to represent part of a whole, we can convert between the three. So we can write percents as decimals, decimals as fractions, fractions as decimals, fractions as percents, percents as fractions. I think I got them all. Okay, so we can convert between all three. So that's what we're going to look at in these next couple of videos. Okay, so writing a percent as a decimal. Well, we know that percent equals parts per 100. So essentially, all we have to do is take whatever the percent is, drop the percent symbol, and then just divide by 100. Okay, and we know that when we divide by 100, we need to move the decimal to the left twice. So we learned that when we were talking about multiplying and dividing, when we were dealing with decimals. Okay. My dog is freaking out. She wants to come in. So hold on just one second. Okay. So the dog is in. We can go back to the worksheet. Okay. So when you're converting a percent to a decimal, you're basically just taking your percent, dropping the percent symbol, and then all you have to do is divide by 100. Okay. And that's what we've outlined right here. So example 2 says write each percent as a decimal. All right, easy enough. So we've got 15%. The first thing we want to do is just drop off that percent symbol, okay? And then we have 15. We need to move the decimal to the left twice. Well, we don't see a decimal. That's fine. You just assume it's at the end and you go to the left twice. So we would say that 15% is equal to 0.15. It is literally that simple. So if you were to take a calculator and take 15 and divide it by 100, you would get 0.15. So we don't even have to do that much work. Just move the decimal to the left twice, drop the percent symbol, you're good to go. Okay? So 215, again, we're going to drop our percent symbol. And then the decimal in 215 is at the end, so we would move it to the left once, twice, and 215% is equal to 2.15. That's it. Okay? And then 9%, again, we drop the percent symbol. And then 9 has a decimal technically at the end, so we would move the decimal to the left once, twice. Anytime you move the decimal in front of the number where there's not another number, you just have to throw in a zero. That's kind of like not really a placeholder. It has value, but we would rewrite this as just 0.09. And that's all there is to it. That is writing percents as decimals. Just make sure you drop the percent symbol, move your decimal to the left twice. Okay? Now, for topic 3, we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to write a decimal as a percent. So since we're doing the exact opposite, let's think about what the opposite of certain things are. So we knew that we had to drop a percent symbol and divide to convert a percent to a decimal. That's great. Okay, well, how do we undo that? Well, instead of dividing by 100, we would multiply by 100 because multiplication and division undo each other. And then instead of dropping a percent symbol, we would just add a percent symbol. Okay, so we're quite literally just undoing that process that we just learned in topic 2. So to write a decimal as a percent, we multiply by 100, and all that does is it moves the decimal to the right twice. Remember, we moved the decimal to the left twice. Let's just undo that, okay? And then we just have to add a percent symbol at the end of our number, okay? So example 3 says write each decimal as a percent. So I've got 0.031. I need to move my decimal to the right twice. That gives me 3.1. And then you have to add the percent symbol. If you don't add the percent symbol, it's not correct, okay? So add your percent symbol and you are good to go. That's all there is to it, okay? 1.25, I move my decimal to the right twice. I get 125, I add a percent, and we're good to go. All right? And then 0.59, I move my decimal to the right twice. I get 59, add a percent symbol, and we're done. And that's all there is to it, okay? Now, sometimes students forget which direction to move the decimal, and I had a student years ago show me a really cool trick. So we've got the alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And that's great. We only need two of the letters though. we need D, and we need P. Okay, so if you're trying to go from a decimal to a percent, you move your decimal to the right. If you're trying to go from a percent to a decimal, you move your decimal point to the left. Okay, so that is one way to remember which direction to move the decimal point if you are having a hard time remembering. Okay, so that is converting decimals and percents between each other. In the next video, we'll look at converting percents to fractions or fractions to percents.